great to have you back. For more on our top stories and others, please visit our website. It's channelstv.com and on youtube.com/channelsweb. You can watch us on the go on your mobile device. Just log on to m.channelstv.com or download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows phones from their respective stores. Having the Channels TV and Channels 24 app will give you access to news and updates. You also have the Eyewitness feature, so you too can be part of the news. Just install the app, then tap and swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu and follow the instructions to share those pictures, videos or news of happenings around you. A book has been launched in honor of the General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Enoch Adeboye. The 40-chapter book, which chronicles his life and spiritual calling, was compiled by 40 authors. Our correspondent Loretta Chiogo reports that it turned out to be a surprise gift for his 75th birthday.
Looking as gentle as he's known to be, the General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Enoch Adeboye, is yet to know what the gathering is all about. The presence of the former President of Nigeria, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, Redeemites, family members and friends is also not a clue. She announces that it's a book launch in honor of Pastor E.A. Adeboye.
Not only the scripture alone we should read. The Bible tells us that we are the letter that the people are now reading. And I believe already people have been reading you. So we're now going to unveil the book.
40 authors have put together 40 chapters of the book titled Pastor E.A. Adeboye, His Life and Calling.
The twist in Daddy's life is really that there is an aspect of his life that you cannot explain in a book, or that might be difficult for people to understand. And that aspect is really the hand of God, the favor of God.
I know that in Africa, I'm not talking of politicians, because they have a way of affecting life for good and for ill. I'm talking of non-politicians. There's no one in modern Africa that has touched life as much as Pastor E.A. Adeboye.
Pastor Adeboye steps up the stage to receive his pleasant surprise from his wife, who is flanked by his children.
We present this to you.
He will not leave without leaving a word.
The event of today, without any doubt, has been a great surprise to me. And of course, my beloved wife, she knows that if I had any idea at all about what is happening today, it will never happen. I would have stopped it long ago. Because who am I without Jesus Christ? If there's anyone to be celebrated, it should be him.
Pastor Enoch Adeboye, who clocked 75 in March this year, received the mantle to become the General Overseer of RCCG in 1981 by the late founder, Pa Josiah Akindayomi, a position that came to him as a shock. From a very humble background in a little town of Ifewara, Osun State, in the southwest of Nigeria, he completed his primary and secondary school, then moved to the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, for his first degree in mathematics. The clergyman, who has been in the forefront of Pentecostal revolution, later got his master's degree at the University of Lagos in 1970 and returned to Unilag for his PhD program. Today, The Redeemed Christian Church of God has spread to about 198 nations and still expanding the gospel of Christ through Pastor E. Adeboye. Loretta Chiogo, Channels Television News.
In Ogun State, farmers will soon get more money from the state government to support their businesses in order to boost agriculture. 5 billion naira has been set aside by the government as revolving loans to develop different stages of the agricultural value chains. The loans are expected to be deployed to increase agricultural output.
See that we've bought a lot of graders, about 20 of them, to grade all these farmlands and everything, so that we can encourage, the issue of exporting goods, which will affect the price of products. Like I said earlier, we don't want to start exporting gari or yam, and we find out that the yam is not affordable to the local people. These are food that our people are eating, so we must be able to make sure that the food is affordable to them. So we encourage farmers to grow more, so that we can have enough to sustain us, and we now export the extra. And that's what we are looking at, and that's why I encourage it. We are trying to create the necessary infrastructure for them, so that, we are encouraging them to do some packaging, storage facilities, because if you don't have that, some of those products that are out of the market, they will start spoiling and everything. So we are encouraging that. So even trying to do the rural roads, very soon you see people going to the rural roads, fixing the rural roads, so that it will help them to move those goods, those products from the farm to these consumers. So it's very important. So as a government, we want to encourage that. The value chain is very key to us. The issue of backward integration, the issue of growing, processing, and industrialization is very key to us, and we are really interested in that.
From Ogun, let's move to Kwara State, where the government is stepping up efforts to ensure residents enjoy stable power supply. But the state government will not be relying on supply from the national grid. Solar energy is being deployed for the state's Light Up Kwara project to enhance its economy. Some villages, small-scale businesses and key government establishments will be the first to enjoy this alternative source of power.
You see, in the state, we had already come up with a policy to drive energy in clustered communities and clustered environments. So we had looked at it and we had phased it. For instance, we are looking at a situation where villages can be isolated, given energy, and it will be sold to them in a way and manner that they will pay for it, and there will only be a provider of energy, there will be a consumer of energy, and government will midwife that transition to ensure that it is smooth. So for us, it's been part of our policy. In fact, we have, as a matter of fact, begun to work on that. Max, they want blending machines, they want refrigeration, air conditioning. These are basic things that we should be able to get enough solar energy to drive these areas and make this, this various environments much more economic and viable than they are.
While the Kwara State government is thinking power, the Akwa Ibom State government is thinking education, and it has put plans in place to ensure full engineering courses begin in its tertiary institutions. This is to equip youths with strong skills in science and technology. Over 1,000 teachers are being recruited to teach science subjects and English in secondary schools.
The special recruitment we are doing right now, mainly for science teachers, English, mathematics, and all the science courses. I also discovered as we aggravated towards, full commencement of engineering faculties in all the state tertiary institutions, especially the polytechnic and the university. We also need to equip our people with science courses. So that's why we are doing the first batch of recruitment of almost 2,000 into most of the secondary schools for science programs. We'll do a lot more. And I'm one of those that have full confidence in the economy, that as we move towards the last quarter of the year, the economy should be back on the path of recovery. It doesn't last this long. So certainly, as you prepare towards the economic recovery, you need to also build capacity in order to, move into that.
Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Udom Emmanuel. And still to come on the program, 2 new ministers sworn in by the acting president in July get to know their duties. We'll give you more about that and other stories when we return. Join us again.